This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. Hey y'all, it is Luca and welcome back to the channel. Today we are transforming yet another one of EA's ugly houses in The Sims 4. We are in Willow Creek once again, and this home is, it's infamously bad, but this is called Riverside Roost. We are here in Courtyard Lane, and we might as well start with a banger. Ignore these other houses; they're works in progresses. But I have a few really good ideas. But before we do, let's go ahead and let's have a little tour. So this is a weird house, I will say. There's two front doors, which I get the inspiration and the idea, but there's really no reason it should have two front doors. You can see the interior is very dark. Things are off center. Like this rug is not centered with anything. Like, at least do this, y'all. Like, come on. We've got like a dining space here, and then a very welcoming kitchen. And then, we've got like a nice little hallway, and then a very large bedroom with a literal single bed. And then there is some stairs up here leading to a master or a main bedroom. I'm not a big fan of this. And then there's a bathroom right here as well. Very standard little dark depressing bathroom. And there is also something really fun that I do actually like is there are these two little like porches, like balcony kind of situation here. So, really interesting house. Very interesting idea, but not exactly the best execution. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's just get started. First thing we are obviously going to do is we're going to get rid of the landscaping. We're going to get rid of all the furniture because, I've thought about doing this base game only and all this stuff, but I'm just going to build however it feels right with this house. I have a really interesting idea of turning this into 3 separate dwellings, actually, because I can't get enough of building apartments and like separate, multiple houses in one lot and everything. It's really, really a fun idea, but we gotta get rid of all this horrible furniture, all this nonsense. They were even using these lights for the interior, and they barely let off any light, I feel like. That is the house completely unfurnished now. I'm going to place down some of these lights, the saucer lights, of course, just to help us see. The idea with this house is this is something my boyfriend gave me. He gave me a really fun idea because he saw the two front doors on this house, and he was like, why can't it just be like a duplex kind of situation where it's like 2 houses on either side? And I'm like, that's a good idea. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of the stairs right here, and we're actually going to go ahead and get rid of all the walls. I usually like to kind of keep the floor plan intact, but this one is just kind of like a little bit wasteful when it comes to the size of the rooms. Something I'm also going to comment really fast. There was a lot of like weird building like decisions they did. Like, I think there's a couple rooms that are just kind of messed up, but yeah, fix that. But yeah, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna strip back everything. We're starting from pure scratch with this build because that's just how I like to roll. And what we'll do is we're going to take a wall and we're just going to go straight down the middle. And that is going to give us 2 separate living spaces. They're very narrow, but I kind of think I like that. I think I like them being super narrow so that it kind of, forces us to, try new layouts and stuff. And then upstairs, since we got rid of this fence and staircase situation, we will have a lot more room up here because this will be its own little apartment as well. So there'll be 3 dwellings here. This is just going to be the really small one. This will require me to add a staircase there, which I'm going to have to figure out. I was thinking of doing it maybe even on the other side of the house or whatever, but I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. It might just have to look a little bit weird. The floor plans, I already have them pretty well planned out here. They're going to be quite small. They're just going to be the same it's going to be the same floor plan, but just like mirrored. See, I think it's going to be like this. It's almost like hearkening to the shotgun style of building, which is popular in, Louisiana and like areas like that, which is what is, the main inspiration for Willow Creek. So basically the idea of a shotgun style house is that you could shoot a shotgun through the house and get to every room. It's, American, little anecdotes or whatever you want to call it. Like it's really funny, but we're going to add bathrooms like right here. Each space is going to be a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. And I'm going to do like a kind of moment like this with the bedrooms. It's going to be quite small, this hallway, but I am not really that mad about that. That's pretty realistic in my opinion. Now, what is going to happen here is that since this is its own unit, that means that this porch here is going to be kind of unnecessary. So maybe I will get rid of it down here or something and just make this like kind of, I'm trying to describe it in my head where it's like, it's still going to have the balcony here, but it's going to be just like no porch here at least, if that makes some sense. I've actually seen this happen quite a bit in where I'm from, where there'll just be like an add-on to a house like this. It kind of works. I don't know. It kind of looks good. Don't worry. It'll look better. I promise. I just want to get the structure figured out first. So yeah, there is the structure pretty much planned out. I actually really like this layout. There's enough room for plenty of things. I'm going to try to limit the furnishing in this one too, just so that it's not like overly done. I want to kind of, not spend forever and a day on it pretty much. And then upstairs is the smaller unit. This one, really straightforward. Honestly, it's going to be super easy. It's just going to be, this is going to be the bedroom. Actually, I think it's literally going to be the layout that it was already. Yeah, it is. But this is going to be the bedroom here. There's going to be a bathroom here, like once again, and then a small kitchenette and then a little living space. And that's it. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to figure out this placement of the staircase here. So it's just the way that this house is so tall. It's going to look really, really weird. Not going to lie. But we're just going to have to ignore that, I think. I think I'm just going to have to ignore it and just try my best to work with that. All right. So there is the full layout of the house complete. It doesn't make more sense. And is it better? I don't know. That's up to you. But I'll go ahead and place down some doors just for, future reference. But yeah, you can kind of see like there's going to be, archways and stuff. Like it's going to work. It's going to work out. I think I'm going to do it like kind of like this, where it's like this little area. This area is going to be the kitchen space, which I think I might mean that I need to use a different archway. I will iron those details out like throughout the build. I don't know. I'm fussing over them. Let's go ahead and let's work on this exterior, make it look a little bit better. This is the main goal, is to make the exterior look better. The roofing here is not my favorite. What we'll do is we're going to make this main section here as wide as the house is. We'll bring the eaves in, lower this down significantly, and then lift this up just a little bit, and also bring this forward too. There we go. That looks more like the houses that I've been building in this world of Willow Creek. And then we can just copy and paste the roofing here, and just to make sure that the angle of roof is proper. There we go. That looks better. Is it great? Yeah, sure. But I think I'm going to leave it like that. Honestly, I kind of do prefer that. This is off center and it drives me so crazy. It really does. So I think I'm going to actually expand it, and then actually, we're not going to expand it. We're just going to move it over 1 block because that makes it centered, which I'm like, y'all, I mean, I don't know. Symmetry is not always the goal with builds and stuff, but for me personally, it's a pet peeve if it's not. I think I'm going to just try to copy and paste the same roofing style over to here, because I feel like that would add a nice bit of, I don't know. It would just kind of make it seem cohesive and put together. Does that look okay? I don't know. I guess so. we'll go with it. And of course, we will be changing the styles and everything. I think I'm just going to go with maybe this and then change the roofing to my favorite roofing possibly. I don't know if this is the roof I want to use here. I think it might be this one. Yeah, this one's going to be the one that I use here. And for the siding, I think I'm going to keep it pretty simple and just use the simple siding, which came with the base game. It's going to be this one. And already that's going to make it look a little bit better, because I think that siding that they use in the base game a lot, it just kind of doesn't look that good to me. I'm correcting myself. I'm going to use the version without trim because it doesn't really work very well. But yeah, I just personally think that siding that they use is just really like not great. And then they did put some trim. I don't want it to be that yellowy color. It's going to be white, just that just looks better. I also forgot a roof over on this end, so I'm just going to copy and paste this roof here, do my best to place it down without it being, weird. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we should actually make it to where there's trim right there. Oh, I see why I didn't do that initially. So never mind. We'll just kind of leave it at that then. And then there we go. That looks good. And then maybe on this side, we can also just use this bit of roofing here just to add that little extra bit of detail like we did before. Sure. I don't know. I think this house is just kind of going to be a little bit off in my opinion. I think I'm also going to bring this in a little bit because I feel like it's just a touch too big. I want it to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, that feels a bit better. Sometimes things are just a little too big. All right, and then I'm going to make these columns. I mean, we could try some different columns, but I think I'm just going to leave them as the white for now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to change up the foundation. We're going to go kind of with I think it was this one that I liked earlier for some reason. Is it that one? That doesn't look very good actually in hindsight. So maybe we'll just go with maybe this one. Yeah, this one looks really good. I've used the brick a lot, but the brick just looks really, really nice and, warm and clean and just nice. It just blends in really, really well. And then I think I'm actually going to change up basically go with the overall idea that they went with, but just use better things. So I think I'm going to use the stuff from the vampire game pack. I've always had such a hard time saying that. It is so hard to see it with this UI. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, there it is. So we're gonna use that one. Should we use the white? I'm looking at my inspiration and I kind of want to go with like a warmer tone, like something that isn't like a pure white, but just like a nice light kind of grayish tone. That looks really good, actually. That looks so pretty. And that also means we're going to basically try to match everything here. We're going to even match the the support beams here. I'm just remembering I saw a clip randomly of Double D from the show Ed, Ed and Eddie, if you are, a mid-90s kid like me. And it's just a random clip of Double D being like, is that the support beam to the house? And I don't know why that popped into my head, but honestly, slay. I'm not really liking the columns that came with the vampire game pack, but I guess I'll just go with this one because it kind of works the best. Okay, that already looks so much better. And then we can use the spandreling as well. This one is just so perfect. Honestly, the vampire game pack, if you're renovating Willow Creek, definitely a good choice, not gonna lie. And I really need to start doing this more. But if you are considering purchasing any content from the EA app for your Sims 4 game, please consider using my creator code luccaowens at checkout. That'd be really, really helpful to me personally because, I got bills to pay and that really, really helps support the channel so much. And it keeps me making more content for y'all. So big thanks to the EA Creator Network for providing me a little code-rooney there. Okay, I think this is something. This is better than it was. This is throwing me off right here. So do I want to get some new doors? I think I'm going to, because we are going to be using the Strangerville stuff, right? Of course, I'm not going to not use them. I mean, it's just, they're so pretty and they're so perfect. I was actually thinking of using this. Oh my God, this is actually exactly what the reference was calling for. Wait a minute. Do we use the vampire fence or do we use the Strangerville fence? Because honestly, that's beautiful. That's so gorgeous. I adore that so, so much. That warm tone honestly just feels so much nicer. So I think that's what we're going to use instead. Really love the vampire stuff. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful content. But I don't know. Just this is speaking to me a little bit more today. I don't know. You know me. I'm not a person who likes crisp white. I like soft white and beige. And I'm trying to I think it's going to be this one we use. I want to try to match the spandreling to the columns a little bit nicer. Look at that. I actually like how understated that is. It's a lot nicer than, yeah, this looks good, but this just feels more appropriate for Willow Creek, personally. At least this house. Ooh, the only thing is though, y'all, I can't really use the railing from Strangerville because it has this weird glitch, which you can't really see it inside, but you can see it on the outside, which is really quite unfortunate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of try to figure something out with this staircase, and I'll meet back with you momentarily. I have decided, because I'm Mr. Indecisive, I'm going to actually use some stuff from vampires after all. This neoclassical slim fence honestly speaks to me a little bit more. It works with everything else from Strangerville still quite nicely, but it's a little bit more minimal. It works with the railings for the stairs here, which I've decided I'm just eliminating this completely. I just feel like that looks so much better. It looked a little bit awkward with the setup that it had before. And I think I'm just going to literally have the stairs be just the stairs, and that's it. I'm not going to have like a balcony or anything. I mean, it would be kind of nice, wouldn't it, for them to have their own balcony, maybe a little one. But actually, you know me, I am one of those people that just makes decisions left and right, and I just don't know how to make a decision to save my life. So maybe we'll just do like something like this, maybe? I feel like that is a little less intense, and I kind of prefer that. And then I'll add a little bit of a trim, I think I'm going to go with like this kind of like soft, kind of off-white color trim here. And I did make the staircase like fully brick. I think I'm going to make these brick as well. And I'm going to turn around and use even more brick. I think it's this brick is the same brick. That doesn't look like the same brick to me. Oh God. Okay, that's it. Okay, there we go. I'm just a stickler when it comes to matching things. So that is an odd situation we have popping up here with the trim, but I'm just not going to look at it too closely. And then since we don't really have much going on under here, I'm going to look and see if there's any way I can like kind of make this look a little bit better. Okay, but like hear me out. Does that look weird? Kind of, but it kind of works at the same time. I'm not really that mad about it, so maybe we should use that. It's kind of a little bit off-centered, so I just need to kind of do that. But I don't know, is it a little unorthodox? I kind of like it. I think this is looking nice, and it's giving me the vibes of the style that I'm really, really like in love with, and it's just like realism and nothing too perfect. So it's the best that I can do with this place. I'm sorry, like I don't know. It does look really, really good now. Maybe not this, maybe not the staircase either. You know what? I have made the executive decision after taking forever. I'm going to add a room. We're going to add a room, and we're going to add some brick to that, and we're calling it a day. That looks so much better. Downstairs, the first floor here, the unit on this side will thankfully have a little bit of a different setup. It's going to be about the same, but nothing too crazy. That's the only difference. It's kind of cool, right? There we go. It took me 26 minutes in real time to get to this point, so I think we should all take a little hydration break. I'm gonna drink some coffee out of my pumpkin mug, even though it's July. Let's be honest, y'all, this is gonna be a long video, and y'all already know it. So let's move on to the windows now. I think windows, they're just gonna be the Strangerville windows. We know this. I can't stray away from them. They are just so perfect. They are the same kind of vibe that the windows that it came with were, but better. Honestly, much better. We're going to just place them very simply. And I'm kind of torn because I really kind of like this combo, because I'm looking at a reference image right now of a house that's literally in Louisiana. And I kind of like this combo. Even though there is like still like some white, there's still some cream there to kind of make it work. So, I might just do it. Even though it's like a little bit off, I still think that's such a nice combination. And I think I'm just gonna try to, I don't know, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the placement of windows here, because I don't want to do too much, but I feel like I need to do a decent amount so that there's enough light to actually see in this place. Yeah, I quite like that. And these rooms are the kitchens, so I think I'm gonna have to go with just these white, like simple, like smaller windows. We'll just do like this for now. And then we have the bathroom. It's just gonna all be these windows. Why not? This bathroom unfortunately doesn't get a window, but that's kind of the caveat for having a bigger second bedroom, honestly, is that their bathroom doesn't have any windows. So hey, there we go. All right. And then upstairs we gotta fix this window situation. I think I'm gonna do another one of these windows like this, because that looks really good. And then I need to place down the same door. I'm just going to do the same door. Yeah, we're going to put that like right smack dab in the middle here. Honestly, I think I'd rather it be to the end, because then I can put another window right here. Maybe I'll put them towards the end. Does that look weird? I feel like that looks a little bit weird to me, but we'll just go with it. And then we can just finish adding the rest of the windows. In fact, I think I'm going to bring these. I don't know how I'm going to do this, to be honest. I think I'm just going to leave it like this, but I'm going to do these windows back here as well. And you know what? The bathroom is going to have a big window. Why not? And then we need to add some smaller windows on this side. I think I'll just do like one here and one here, and then same on this side, one here, one here. Does that clip any? No, it actually works pretty well. Part of me also wants to try to kind of make this look a little bit better, because I actually am not really a huge fan of how the roof is looking up on the top section here. I'm just going to try to match this angle pretty well and then move it over here. That's my little trick, is if you are having a hard time with getting the angles of roofing to match, just kind of line them up like when you overlap them. And then we'll do this. Yeah, that looks a little bit nicer in my personal opinion. I am going to redo the trim, I think. I kind of want to use something a little different. Like, I like this kind of color that I'm using. I just don't know if I can match it. I'm having a hard time for some reason. Actually, you know what? I'm nixing that, because apparently I can't match colors. So yeah, that looks a lot better. It doesn't look great. In my personal opinion, I still think this house is atrocious. I can't do nothing about that though, because I'm not a miracle worker. Okay. I can't say that this house is the nicest house that's going to be in this series, but it's at least going to be an interesting concept. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get rid of all the terrain paint, and we're going to get rid of the flooring here, and we're going to get this party started. So we're going to use, I think I literally want to use the same brick. I really like how that's like all matching, and then I'll just kind of do the same thing there. So there's like a little bit of a pathway here. Part of me wants to make this a bit realistic, and they actually have like a parking kind of spot here. Like maybe this is like a communal little yard they have over here, and then here's the parking, or maybe it's like parking here, communal yard. I don't know. I think the parking should be here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do like kind of a moment with the brick here. We're going to like have it line everything. We're going to do like this. That looks kind of nice. And then maybe we can just use some kind of nice like concrete or something. I'm realizing I'm like not in frame at all. Oh no. Sorry about that. I was becoming a goblin and becoming a little troll and just being like, ooh, building, you know. Anyways, I think I'm just going to try maybe this brick. That's kind of nice. It's a little different, but it still kind of works with everything that's going on in here. So I think I'm going to do that, and then we can place down some cars. Okay, so we've got a truck here. We'll put a car like right here. I'm having a hard time getting these lined up. I think we'll just do like this. this, we'll do this. We'll do one of these fancy cars, and then we'll just do like a little sedan. It looks like I can move everything over just a little bit, like a half a tile. That's kind of all right. And then we can put down some kind of like little fancy pieces. I don't know what you call them. We'll do just these like little low-lying little fence pieces here. And these can just be like, you know, where their parking spots are. And then maybe this can be like a private little like yard that only the people that live here can get into. That's why there's like a fence maybe. Low key want to use the picket fence because I feel like it would look really nice. I think I'm actually going to go to that spot there. Yeah, we'll close this off here. And then maybe we can fill this with just like some kind of bushes. Something that's like a low maintenance kind of situation. Yeah, these are super cool, super pretty. These are from the base game, but oh my gosh. So yeah, this is my results so far. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not loving it. I really am not loving it. I just have a really hard time enjoying building with medium wall heights. I've noticed it's just because it just looks too tall. I'm gonna add some of these like columns here that, you know, came with the Get Together expansion pack because I feel like maybe that could help a little tiny bit, make it look just a little bit more put together. I haven't used these in like an eternity. I feel like these are not like super popular to use anymore, but I don't know. They just, yeah, that looks a little bit better, but I don't know. I feel like once I get some more furnishing and stuff in here, it's going to look nicer, but I think the overall vibes are great. I sillily did not leave a gap for the gate. I think I'm just going to do this kind of situation and then just leave it open. We'll do that instead. And then maybe this can just be like a little kind of like spot for the tenants to, you know, have a little bit of a hangout, you know, space here, something like maybe like that. And then we'll use the little smooth keeper here. Or we can probably use it in a different color. I kind of like the darker brown. And then we can use that to kind of section off some like flower beds or something. Maybe they can, you know, grow things here or something. I don't really know. Actually, what if I did this kind of moment here and then I can put the trash cans there? That kind of works, right? And then, of course, I'm obsessed with these businesses and hobbies ones. I don't know why. But yeah, those right there is going to be perfect. And then, yeah, I don't know really what else to put out here other than just more flowers and stuff. I think what I'll do is I will put in some of these planter boxes. Maybe this is like, you know, a home for people who are troubled or something like that. And maybe this is like a sort of a rehabilitation place. You know, it's not really like properly a rehabilitation place, but it is still something, you know, that people live in. You know, maybe it's like an extension of a rehabilitation place that, you know, this is where they live. This is where, you know, they can, you know, have their own spaces, but they still have access to things. And then, you know, I don't really know. Let me know in the comments. I just have, you know, an idea. We have some, you know, planter boxes over here. I think we'll just keep it kind of clean. And I'm not really going to go crazy with the landscaping. I'll just put like a tree right there. And then maybe a bush right here, like a really pretty flower bush or something. Maybe some hydrangeas. I mean, we can never go wrong with hydrangeas. Maybe I can do like just two kind of overlapping right here. That looks quite nice, actually. Very simple and clean. And then I think to finish it off it's perfect to put a few grills and maybe like a picnic table or something or two. We'll actually do like 2 grills here just in case, you know, a couple people are like, oh, hey, I was going to grill something too. Let's do this together, you know. Or this could be like a home for a big family. Maybe, you know, maybe you have a big family that, you know, they need their own spaces, but at the same time, you don't want to, you know, keep them too far apart from each other. Yeah, this is really quite pretty, actually. I feel really good about it. I think a nice bench out here would look really good. Probably this one from the base game actually kind of is perfect. And then I don't know about this little corner over here. I don't know. It feels a little bit weird. This little spot, it just feels kind of empty. Maybe they park their bikes here. Let's put a couple bikes, you know, just for, you know, a little filler. You know, they can put like a couple kids' bikes even to, you know, it's just little bikes bike parking spot. All right, and I do want to go ahead and add some outdoor lighting. If my game looks a little different, I will have it linked in the description. But basically, I'm using it's a mod, but it is not like a mod you place in your mods folder necessarily. It is something that you have to place into your game files. So it does have instructions and, a layout of how to do it. So don't worry. It is a little bit intimidating at first, but once you do it once, you're like, okay, that makes so much sense. But yeah, just in the description down below, you'll find it. But it is, this is called Milk Thistle by Softer Haze. They're the same creators who did, or the same creator that did the Sunblind mod, which you may have heard a few other creators talk about. Please go check out both of those. You can choose between either of them. They both have different vibes completely. So just go check them out. Really, really awesome. If you're willing to kind of get into the nitty gritty of your game files, do that. It's really awesome. Oh my gosh, this little mailbox has 3 mailboxes in it from For Rent. And that's so perfect because there's 3 units. So yeah, that's really, really nice. I kind of want to do the green just because it is Willow Creek. Okay, so I think I'm going to just continue working on the landscaping. There's not really a whole lot that I'm going to be doing. I am going to do like a little flower box here, I think. And I think we're just going to keep the hedges going on the other side of the house here. There's no need to overcomplicate things when we don't need to, so we're just going to go with the hedges. And then right here, we're just going to do some flowers, some real flowers, not live edit. We're going to do real ones. Why not? I kind of want to do some like little yellow flowers, maybe. I feel like that would look really, really cute right here. Something super clean and simple. However, the house is so high up. I feel like those look so squished, so squanched. So I'm thinking I want to do some taller ones. Maybe these. Oh, these are also very pretty. I don't know. Maybe we'll do these. These are perfect because they fit very nicely and they still look nice and neat. And then we can use some dirt, which this is actually a floor tile. But it just looks so good in flower boxes like that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're finished with the exterior. I may add another one of these kind of tall trees like right there, but that looks really good. I'm really happy about that, actually. I wasn't too sure about it, but I think this looks a lot more realistic. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the interior. This is going to be a long video. I can already tell. I've been recording for 42 minutes. So, it's going to be a long one, y'all. So, strap in. I had to take a little bit of a break there. Get some, refresh myself a little bit there. But I think we'll go ahead and we will start from top to bottom. Let's just do that. We'll just work on this little space right up here. I feel like that's going to be a lot less intimidating. So, for the flooring for the house, actually, I wanted to make it all match. I'm kind of torn because I really like this For Rent flooring. It just, there's just something about it. It's just a simple wood flooring. Oh, that's so nice, actually. Ooh, I like that. I think I'm going to go with that because it doesn't look like brand new, but it also doesn't look like debilitatingly old. So we'll put it in the rooms like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to make the bedrooms carpeted. You know me. I am not a fan. Let me say that again. I'm not a fan of carpet in real life, but at the same time, there's just something really nice about it too. I don't know. It's weird. I think I'm going to go with a tile. Well, I was going to go with a tile from the base game, but this one's also speaking to me. But I think I'm just going to go with the really simple Edwardian tile here. I feel like this just kind of goes with the style, but it's not like super, super clean and nice looking, but it's subtle. It works with the style that I'm wanting to go with. All right, let's just focus on this upstairs before we get too ahead of ourselves. And I'm going to use this door from the High School Years expansion pack. Genuinely, such a nice little door. And then I think, let me look at my floor plans. Okay, so I have the kitchen planned to be here, but I think I'm going to put it over here instead. Makes a little bit more sense, right? Because I want the dining to have like lighting. So, or better yet, we will kind of do it along the wall here. Let's do that. And I'm just going to kind of keep these homes pretty affordable looking. I'm not really going to go intense with everything. I think we'll do like the kitchen like this. I'm so sorry for the camera being weird. It's mainly because I've got the walls up. So there we go. But yeah, we're just going to go with a really, really simple, cheap kind of look to this place. It's not going to be like crazy intense in this house. Ooh, I'm not liking that. Let's move this window over after all. Okay. And then we obviously have to put the sink here. We have to put the sink here because I can't have it any other way. And then we'll just put the stove right here. I'm going with pretty cheap stuff because I want this to feel like an affordable place to live. I actually want to change this to carpet now. Yeah, that just feels better. And then do I want to do an island or do I want to have a table? I feel like an island would look better in here. I feel like, ooh, it would be clipping with that window though. So I have to move the window over again, but that looks really good actually. We'll put like a little island space just like that and a little trash can here on the end. Yeah, this is coming together. And then the cabinets might be a bit high. I'm realizing now. I think I would want this window to be like a notch lower. We're gonna have to squint to not pay attention to these little minor issues. We as in me. Because I tend to get really fussy over like little things like that. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. That actually looks quite nice. I think the end piece needs to be like this and same with this one because like if we're gonna have the ability to do this, you gotta do it. That looks so cute. And then we'll just give them like a really simple, cheap little microwave. We'll do the white, or no, should we do the black one? No, we'll do the white one. Or is it a microwave or should we do a coffee pot? I mean, we could do both and then they could prepare food here. So I think that's going to be fine. And then just place down some, cute little, what do you call them? Stools. Bar stools here. I wish we had one that matched the wood on that, honestly. That would look really good. We could do that, but those just look a little bit off. Maybe these, weirdly enough, but I kind of don't like how they look. Oh, these are okay. These are actually decent looking. These are from the Lovestruck expansion pack, but I really like that. That's very simple. Okay. I kind of like it. It kind of is looking good. I kind of want to bring this over. I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to bring that over and then put a cabinet in the corner there. Is that a little bit better? Yeah, I feel like that's a little nicer so that I can, put the coffee pot maybe here in the corner. Yeah, that's a little bit nicer. And then we can put the trash can right here. That just feels a little bit less cluttered. And then we just need, the usual little decorative bits. I'm not going insane with the decorations because I feel like if I was to just go really intense with them, it just would be too much. So I'm just going to do like a little rug there and maybe we can just put like a little painting right here or something. Ooh, I kind of like this little poster for the kitchen. I don't know. That just looks really cute. I haven't used that in a long time. And then maybe we can use, I want to say it's an item that came with the base game, just a little chalkboard. There's that little chalkboard guy. Yeah, it's this one right here. I really like the little chalkboard. It can be like little, ideas for dinner or, oh, this is a little words of affirmation, And then I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the living room here. I could just go with the really simple hipster hugger, but I kind of want to use something a little different. I tend to use that all the time. I think we'll use this couch from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. Honestly, I really like it because it is kind of like a realistic couch to me. So we'll give them a little coffee table too. Maybe this one. Do we give them this one? I don't know. It's not really, it kind of does something for me. Actually, this one from the Discover University? I'm pretty sure. This one kind of does something for me. Yeah, it's kind of got like a little bit of an old fashioned vibe. I don't know. I'm kind of just like, whatever when it comes to living rooms anymore. I guess just for me personally, I've done so many builds that it doesn't really matter what they look like. Ooh, I kind of like this old looking couch, from City Living, like that, or that chair. I kind of want to do the matching couch to it. Ooh, it kind of is like a thrifted vibe, but it's a little bit more realistic in my personal opinion. Coffee tables for me they're always a struggle. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I always have the worst time picking out a coffee table. I don't know what it is. I'm just not happy with any of them. That one kind of works. And that's also reminding me of the Cats and Dogs bookshelf. It's kind of my favorite one. It's just this white one, but once you pick the right swatch, it just like that texture of wood. I don't know. It's very like, I don't know. You see that a lot in like at least in my life, I've seen them a lot. So I don't know if that's a good placement for it, to be honest. Maybe it's not. Maybe we will put it over here. But at the same time, I feel like it's not going to fit very well with the, I'm just being a little bit nitpicky by the looks of it. So maybe I can put this bathroom door here. We can put the bedroom door here and then put this here. Yeah, that looks a lot better, actually. I like that kind of layout. I was trying to be simple with this, but apparently not. Apparently not. I kind of like this rug too. It's from I believe, Growing Together. I don't know. It's kind of cute. It looks like a very dated old rug, but it's nice. I'm not really super worried about things matching and looking the greatest, though. I mean, that's contradictory to just what I did, but you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be worrying so much because, this home, this is like a place where people, maybe they don't have a lot of money. Maybe this is like just like a low income based housing. Maybe that's what this is, Yeah, we'll just do these like little simple curtains. I kind of like these, actually. They, don't really do a lot. Oh, I kind of like the idea of putting them like in the middle. And then maybe I can find another curtain to go on top. Like, I know there's that one from the base game. What is it? Where is it? We could also do this where we layer them like this. Oh, this is kind of a fun vibe. Like, is that weird? It kind of is weird. I shouldn't be doing that. Why am I getting all experimental for? I told myself, I literally told myself, I'm not supposed to be doing anything unless it's simple. Okay. Hold back. Have some constraint. Okay. We're just going to go with these curtains. Possibly, maybe. You know what? I'm going with my gut. And I'm sticking to it. I can't do this anymore. I think I'm just going to do these really simple blinds. Actually though, is it raining? It's raining. It's that time of year where it literally will be sunny and beautiful all day, and then it'll just start raining. Just randomly, and then it'll get clear and pretty again, So yeah, we kind of have something going on here, some kind of cute situation. I'm not mad about this place. We'll go with that lamp in the corner there. I weirdly like how simple this is. I guess because I'm so used to cluttering up spaces like really, really intensely. Like, I am used to just throwing in so much clutter to make it look really, really like lived in and just like put together. But I'm realizing now that this is kind of like the perfect build for the opposite. Yeah, we're going to actually go with a matching set of furniture here from Cats and Dogs, because honestly, that Cats and Dogs, like this wooden set, I want more of that. It's so pretty. And then we'll just do a simple little lamp here. Honestly, the blue with the blue on that rug, good matching. Okay. I think this is a pretty good spot, a pretty good place to kind of be like, okay, reel it in. But I do want to add a few things. I love that. Someone commented that earlier a couple days ago. They were like, I love it when you think you're done and then you automatically just immediately think of something else you want to add. And they were like, that's so relatable. And I'm like, you know what, girl? That's just how I am. That is just how I am. It's the ADHD, but that is all I want to do. That's all I'm going to do. I refuse to do anymore. Oh, I forgot curtains there. Hold on. I think I'll shrink these down and just kind of like put them together like I've done before. Ooh, it is coming down good. Oh, wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. I wish I could show y'all. But it is pouring outside and the sun is shining. What does that mean to you, the region that you're from in the United States? Because that is something we commonly say it is so many things. I've heard some really dark ones, but in my life, it's just been, my mom was like, oh, that just means it's going to rain again tomorrow at the same time. And I'm like, really? And it is. It is. What time is it? 4:00. It was raining at 4:00 yesterday. We're going to get more rain tomorrow, 4:00 probably. Do I do this kind of wallpaper? It's so busy. It's like kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. Like, I don't know if I'm particularly a fan of that. Maybe I'll just do, maybe that one. I don't think I like that color, but I like the style. I think I'm just going to go with, do I like the white? I don't really like the white. Maybe the blue. The blue is just too bright. Maybe we need to go with a different one. Honestly, this looks really good. It's very simple. It's so simple, but I really like it. Maybe this is like a pre-furnished kind of space. Nobody really lives here yet. That's why it's pretty bare, but it's just a pre-furnished little place that somebody can stay in and live in for a while if they need. I'm trying to think of like real life kind of inspiration in this because I don't have that experience myself personally, but at the same time, other people do. I think we do need to add some kind of like tiling on this back wall here. Maybe this, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. I don't know. I feel like that is a little bit too much. Maybe if I do that, then I can put like a wall here. Yeah, that looks good. It just adds a little bit of a barrier, kind of separates the space just a touch better. Okay. And then the doorway doesn't seem so weird to the bedroom here. I think the bedroom is going to have the same color of paint. We're not really going to make it super personalized, I don't think. And then let's see, we just need a nice little bed. I think I'm just going to put a double bed in here. I really can only imagine like a single sim is going to be living in here. So I think I'm going to just put a simple little bed. I mean, this one is kind of the one I instinctually go for. So maybe I should go with this one from Cats and Dogs. It looks really nice. It looks really comfortable. I wish we had one. Ooh, that one does have that matching wood tone there, but it's kind of an ugly bed. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I think we're just going to go with this base game one. Ooh. Never mind. This one from Cats and Dogs. I know. I'm sorry. I get so indecisive. But I think this one just has like a really good swatch. That one kind of fits. Yeah, that feels good. And we'll just do a matching end table in here as well. That looks really, really cute and cozy. And there is a dresser that came with Cats and Dogs that also would perfectly fit really well with the color scheme. We'll just put it right there. And I think maybe here we'll put a curtain. No, we'll put a mirror. Isn't there one that came with Cats and Dogs too? Let's just see. There might have been. I don't think there was, but we'll at least look. Oh, there's this one, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I think we'll just use maybe this one from Horse Ranch. That is close. And I think that's what I like. And then I think we'll just put one of those really simple base game paintings. It's just kind of got like a nice little landscape on it. I feel like that would be something maybe they just kind of saw, maybe like the owners or whoever is in charge of this place. They're just like, oh, that looks really nice. We'll just get that. We need some kind of art in here to make it a little bit more lively and a little bit nicer. We'll just put it like right here. Yeah. And then we need a nice curtain here. I think the Cats and Dogs curtain would be perfect because I feel like they would want an actual curtain in this room. And let's see, what color? I mean, I guess I could probably either do like this green or this red. Maybe I could do the yellow actually. I feel like that kind of works. And then we'll do another one here as well. Make sure they're lined up so that it doesn't look weird. But I like that. That's a cute little room. And then we just need a little lamp here. Let's see, what kind of lamp? Oh, I mean, obviously, we're just going to go with the same lamp as we did in the living room, I think. Should I make it like a green swatch? Yeah, that matches really well. And I think that's really all I want furniture-wise in here. A little clock maybe, Yeah, just like a little clock here in the corner, so you can see what time it is. And then maybe I'll put a TV in here. Since they don't have one in the living room, we'll put one in here. That looks really nice. And then we just need to do a really simple bathroom. I'm going to use the same tile that I used in the kitchen. All right. And then we're just going to go, I think we're just going to use, I was going to use like a cheap toilet, but I don't really like the way it looks. This one looks just like a real toilet. So we're going to use that. And then I am going to put in a proper vanity. Since this bathroom kind of has a decent amount of space in it, I'm just going to go with that. I think we'll do maybe like this kind of moment though. Yeah, I kind of like that. And this is going to be really annoying for y'all probably, but I've got to, have the walls up for a few minutes because of this. Because I mean, nobody's ever commented about that, but I get annoyed whenever the walls are so up and down. I'm like, oh my God, it's frustrating me, but I'll just bear through it a little bit. We're just going to do a really simple, clean little bathroom. It's, how I like to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, it's a bathroom, it's nothing fancy. I think what I'll do is I'll put like a toothbrush and toothpaste here. I'll make sure to put like a little thing of soap and then maybe like a little stack of freshly like clean towels. Some like little like green ones there. And then I'll give them a little medicine cabinet to match, even though that looks like it's a medicine cabinet. Actually, you know what? No, instead of that, since we already have this mirror, which has like a medicine cabinet in it, we can put this one in, this little kind of shelf for the towels. I think we'll just do the white and maybe we'll make the curtain or these match. Actually, why would you have towels on the counter if they're up here. Makes sense, right? So we'll just put like a little organizer or something here from the bathroom clutter kit. And then I kind of want there to be just that. I don't know why I was like introducing it, but I kind of just want this kind of situation for the bath. I kind of like the light accent of pink, but it mostly being white. So I usually don't go for the first swatch, but that kind of works. And then we're going to go in and put in a nice little boob light and some curtains. Actually, I think I'm going to go in with more of these blinds here, just because they do look really, really good, actually, the color and everything. So, and then to finish off this little bathroom, 2 things. I almost forgot one thing. That one thing is a little hand towel. Just a little hand towel here. We'll make it pink to match everything else. Actually, that's not the same shade of pink, so we'll do that. And then we'll do a nice little light shade of pink, little rug for this room here. Maybe we'll go with just this one. That's super simple and cute. All right. I think honestly, just to finish it off for this like upstairs, like living situation, I think I might give them a little chair, just like their own little kind of place to just kind of sit and enjoy the outdoors without having to like share it. Maybe we'll put this one with like a pink little thing here, or actually I kind of want this one because it just kind of has like a nicer like tone to it. We'll do like the green. That's cute. A nice little thing. I wish we had this. I know this is something that is in basemental mods, but I low-key want like a little ashtray. I so badly want that in this game, and I know they're not going to implement that in this game like at all, like they won't. But maybe we'll put the chair here. Actually, maybe we'll put two little chairs out here, yeah, and then maybe like a little table in the middle. But I would so badly want that because it'd be such a nice little thing to add for like character. It's for the character. I say that all the time. I'm like, it gives character. We'll do like a little orange kind of table. Maybe the white. Actually, the white looks a little bit nicer. And then maybe just a candle, for the lack of, one thing that is on fire and is putting off smoke. We'll put a candle to kind of be like, hey, what? We'll do the citronella candle because it's the South, y'all. There's going to be mosquitoes everywhere. Or as us people in the South, which I'm from the Southern Appalachian area, not quite the South, but close enough, honestly. We share a lot of the same dialect. But we say mosquitoes, not mosquitoes. But if you're like, you got a really thick accent, you say skaters. So I don't have that thick of an accent. I usually say just mosquitoes. But just a little tidbit. Let's put a little white, light out here. And yeah, there's the upstairs apartment. I honestly love it. It's so simple and clean. I really want to put this painting right here in the middle, actually. But it's so simple and clean. And I don't know. It just really speaks to me. It's so nice. So yeah, I'm going to take a little building break. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to get some hydration in my system. And we will move on to the next 2 little dwellings here in just a moment. All right, let's move on to the next space. This one is going to be the one on the left here. It's the smallest side, essentially. And I'm just going to keep pretty much the principle the same. I'm going to try to kind of lightly furnish the space, but I still want it to feel like it has people living here a little bit. I'm thinking this kind of setup so that people can just walk behind and then the TV can be here, or whatever goes here. It doesn't have to be a TV, but just if they want to have a TV. I'm trying to think what would go here that looks just like a really simple kind of affordable thing. Maybe something like that, possibly, or better yet, something more along the lines of this. I think this would look a little bit better, maybe. Oh, what am I thinking, y'all? I'm so silly. I don't know what I was thinking. We have this. It's going to match the set upstairs. I was going to have the flooring be this like wood tone, but I'm just wanting to make it carpet. I don't know. I'm just weird. I like carpet in The Sims 4 because it makes it feel more like a home that's been there for a bit, because in my experience, older houses have carpet. So I guess with wood floors in The Sims 4, it just looks too clean and sleek and shiny. And I'm like, I want some floors that are like that one from Get Famous, that have like texture and like scratches and stuff. And it doesn't always work with every build that we do. So I think I'm just going to go with some color schemes for each one. I think we're going to go with like browns and greens maybe for this one. Something like that. Something really simple. It's going to be kind of a tight squeeze, but it's a small house. So I don't really expect very many people to be living here either. And do we have a matching chair? I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, we have this matching chair. We unfortunately don't have this green, which makes me sad. I want that in everything. Maybe we will do just this color and that kind of works. I don't know. I feel like if it was matching, it would be a little bit more, it would make sense. And I'm just going to use the same furniture that we were using in the upstairs place. Maybe they got everything together or something like that. Ooh, I'm realizing how cramped or just how cramped that is. I don't know. Maybe we'll just put it like right there. I don't know. I feel like that's realistic. And then let's see. I think we're going to put maybe an old TV here, or maybe just this one. Maybe that's just like a cheap, affordable one. I don't want to use the same for every space, but I feel like for this kind of house, it just makes the most sense to have everything match, just because this is supposed to be like a low income place that maybe comes pre-furnished. Maybe we'll put the bookshelf on this side and then the chair can just go here. Yeah, maybe we can actually just do this kind of situation. And then we can put like a lamp right there. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's so perfect actually. And you know, just to clarify, we don't actually have to do this same design in the next house. We don't. We can probably add a few different personal touches maybe. Okay, that's a pretty simple little space. I do want to add a desk. Like adding a desk would really, really look good. And of course we have one from Cats and Dogs, I'm pretty sure. It's always hard for me to see with this dark UI that I have, but it's that right there. Does that, maybe if I move everything down a bit, but I feel like it'll be too close to the door. So maybe I shouldn't put that unless I get rid of the side chair here. I feel like maybe if I put the desk like here, okay, yeah, and I can put the bookshelf on this side, and then maybe we can put the lamp on this side. I mean, that's okay, I guess. I really want there to be a desk, and I don't imagine more than 3 people living in this home, so I think that's what we'll do. I don't really know what kind of chair to put here. I guess I'll just put a matching chair. We'll just do the Cats and Dogs chair to match it. That looks really cute, and then we'll just, go in with some, regular looking, pictures for the walls, just some that look like, they just put up just to kind of make it look nice in here. That honestly kind of looks good. And then I don't know what to put over here necessarily. I do want there to be some nice curtains. We could go with the blinds again. Not necessarily a bad idea, to be honest. Actually, I kind of like that because, we do have those one blinds that I've used before from Get to Work, but they only have like white and gray, and I kind of want something that looks a little bit older. And yeah, I'll just put like something like this maybe. I don't know. It's from For Rent. We'll just, yeah, sure, for the lack of anything better. But yeah, this looks pretty nice and clean. I won't put a computer just because that's kind of expensive. But, I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm acting like nobody is living here yet when they could be. I don't know. I might actually leave it like that just because maybe this can be something that you download and then you can kind of add your own decor to if you want. It makes it a little bit easier to renovate and to even just use right out of the box, basically. Let's see. I think for the wallpaper, I'd like to do something a little different in here. I feel like that is kind of a vibe, and I can't quite explain why. I think I'm going to use this wallpaper. I feel like it looks right, and I changed the color of the couch too. I kind of like that. It's nice and dated. I don't know. If I was to step into a space like this, I would honestly feel comforted. I'd be like, oh, this is nice and warm. It's kind of old, it's dated, but it's clean. It's got everything that you need. I'll put some books on the coffee table. I'll add a few things. I'll add a couple little touches. Actually, let's put some books here on the side instead. And we'll kind of like use move objects to kind of put it next to the TV there. And then maybe we can put like a nice little plant or something, or some flowers. Yeah, like a little thing of flowers there. Why not? I don't know if that looks great. That's bothering me that it's not centered there. maybe we won't put that. Maybe we'll put it somewhere else. Maybe on the desk, actually. Maybe a nice little setup of books on the desk is cute. And then maybe just like on the side, we can just put like a little something, a little guy, just like a little guy here. Why not? Oh, actually, I was going to put him, and I would, but I just remembered the duck. I love the duck. I don't know. The duck just seems so right. Okay. Sort of a nice little space, but it's not fancy. So that's kind of the goal, is to not make it look fancy by any means. Okay. And then maybe we'll put like a little wall light right here next to the entrance, because I feel like that would help a lot. And I'll do it on this other side too, just to kind of make it match, and so that I don't forget. So right there, that'll add some extra light in the house too, I think, if we add some of these sconces, because the walls are really high, at least for me. I hope I'm getting this the same like level and stuff. I don't think I am, but we're just gonna go with it. But yeah, this will add some extra light in the house without having to add extra sconces. I think a nice plant would look good in here, even though this is supposed to be minimally furnished. I think a nice little plant in the corner would look really good. Maybe something, I feel like I use this plant. It's probably the most used plant that I have, but it's just this one. It just adds like a nice little bit of greenery without it being too intense. Okay, we'll leave that at that. I may add some more decor, but I think this is a nice little setup. And then we can move on to the kitchen. The kitchen, I'm going to use probably this wallpaper, just because it's kind of like a dated wallpaper. Maybe this house was renovated. Maybe it's literally kind of like an Inception thing. Maybe that, the idea of this house is that it was a big house and then they renovated it into some smaller dwellings, like it should be in real life. But, instead of these, massive houses for these, rich people, maybe instead, we should have places where, people can afford to live, little dwellings, or not necessarily apartments, but, just like little spaces like this. But yeah, a nice little kitchen space. Ooh, I think I meant to do it. Yeah, I meant to do it on this side, actually. We're going to do it on this side because how I am. I can't stand having a kitchen space where the sink is not where a window is. That bothers me. I just, in my head, I'm just like, you're at a sink, you're doing the dishes, and you're having to look at a wall. Like, excuse me, that's so sad. I could never. So yeah, there we go. Nice little kitchen setup, something pretty simple. I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did upstairs. I'm going to put like a little microwave and a little coffee pot, just like this. Oh no, I can't put it on that. Oh, that's such a bummer. I think, actually, weirdly enough, with these cabinets, I can't put it on the end piece, but I can put it on the corner piece, I'm pretty sure, which essentially functions the same way, sort of. I mean, not really. It doesn't look right, but oh dear, I placed it so wrong. What is happening? Is it really only going to let me? I don't know what just happened. My brain kind of broke there, but I fixed it. It's working. And then I was actually going to lower these windows, or maybe not. I think what I'll do is we'll just pretend these people are really tall because I just can't stand moving things. And, we'll pretend that it doesn't cover it doesn't cover this up. Maybe we'll just put like this, like that, maybe. Actually, I don't know if I like this situation because this feels weird right here now. I think I'm just going to get rid of it, and we're just going to go with that. And then maybe here can be where the, trash can lives. And then I'm going to also make sure to add some more of these little sconces. We're just going to put them like this. I'm going to make sure they are kind of in the same spot. And I'm going to go ahead and add the light because honestly, this this one little saucer light isn't doing enough for me. That's perfect. And then the table is just going to be here in this little corner here. As much as I would want there to be a proper like window and stuff, it's fine. We'll just put like a little table here, maybe something like this, or I actually had an idea. Maybe we can use a bigger table. Actually, I think we can maybe make this work. I don't know. Yeah, I think we can make that work because personally, I don't want to use like, I want to use like a lighter wooden table like this one, maybe something just like that. I don't know. This actually came with cats and dogs, and it does kind of have a nice swatch to it. So we'll just go with that. And you know what? We'll use these same, chairs that we use in the kitchen or the office space, whatever you want to call it. I actually really like that. That's nice and cozy. I think I do need to put a light above here too. Something that feels like it would be above I wish we could put microwaves above the stove, because that honestly is the most realistic. Most of the time you're going to see one mounted. Like growing up, I didn't have that, of course. But in The Sims, it would just make a lot of sense. All right. And then I'm going to add just a couple little clutter items to, make it feel like it's ready to live in, just a little, utensil thing, a little paper towel holder, maybe a little thing of soap for the sink. Can we imagine that this is actually a sponge? Can we just pretend that that's a sponge? I'm going to say it's a sponge and just go from there. And then we'll give them a nice little hand soap. We'll just do this one. Yeah, that's super cute. And then for the curtains, I think I'm going to go with just these simple ones from, I believe this is from Growing Together. I could be mistaken, but we'll just put these little cute ones. I feel like this window is just kind of weird. I'm not really liking the placement. I kind of want to put one of these tall windows in here just for the sake of it making sense. That just feels a little bit better. It felt a little like it was just being weirdly cut off by the kitchen. And then we just need a little kind of rug or something right here. Cats and Dogs is really just coming in with the clutch with this house, but it's just so perfect. Honestly, I really do think Cats and Dogs was such a good pack. I'm not really somebody who does a lot of gameplay, so take that with a grain of salt. But personally, I really love it whenever a set of or a new DLC really comes through with a set theme of items, and Cats and Dogs kind of ate, as the kids say these days. Okay, just a couple little paintings for the kitchen. Maybe I can put a little candle for the kitchen, on the sink. On the sink? It's the table, Lucas. Yeah, that lightens it up really nicely. Honestly, I think the kitchen, that's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. It's nice and clean. No, it isn't. I just remembered something. We have to add a clock. You have to have a clock in the kitchen. You gotta know what time it is. Yeah, something cute like that. That's perfect. Anyways, moving on. Actually, I think before we move on to the back side of the house, where the bedrooms and the bathrooms and stuff are, I'm actually gonna go ahead and we're just gonna finish up the other living room and kitchen. Why not? We're just going to continue this little rhythm. We're just going to mirror the kitchen right over here, just like so. Yeah, we're quite literally just copying and pasting everything over just to, make it look like it was all built the same time, basically, or, they renovated it at the same time, and, the decisions were all made by the same person, stuff like that. And what I might do is I might actually change the color of the rug. Maybe we'll go with a different wallpaper or something. Maybe they were like, hey, maybe we should do a little bit of a different color so that, people aren't it's not the exact same thing, Yeah, something subtle changes like that. I could even go with a different flooring. That would be kind of fun. I was actually thinking of changing the flooring anyways. I was kind of not loving it, but maybe we can just change the color ever so slightly. Maybe we can make it a blue or something. Yeah, a blue themed kitchen would be kind of nice. I don't know if a blue fridge would, I feel the blue fridge is a little intense, but just having blue elements instead of more yellowy ones, maybe the wallpaper is a different design, maybe this plaid one or this gingham. It's not plaid, it's gingham. We'll go with the gingham. That's kind of, it's kind of cute. It's kind of different. And then we'll go with a different table, I think, in here. We have to. We gotta go with a different vibe. I'm thinking actually, you know what? I kind of low-key want to go with one with a little tablecloth. It would be really nice. Nice creamy little white little tablecloth on there. And then maybe we can go with, maybe not those chairs. I feel those chairs don't really fit. I'm trying to think. Maybe something simple like this. You know what? I kind of don't mind. I kind of do, actually. I don't like those. Ooh, actually, maybe we should just go with the ones from Cats and Dogs again. Maybe they just got a lot of them. I kind of like this little moment, this little cute little thing here. That actually, honestly, that is such a nice little combo. But yeah, maybe somebody lives on this side, and maybe that's why there's a few more little bits of furniture here and there. Maybe we'll put like a little like lamp in the corner. Actually, I feel like that one's too, like this one. Like this one will look a little bit nicer. And then maybe like a little clock on this wall here. I think a bowl of fruit or something right there. It would be perfect, actually. Yeah, just like a little bowl of fruit. And then maybe a little painting, and then that's where we're gonna call it for this room. I promise. I am going to, I forgot to fix this window situation over there. All right, there is the kitchen's done, and then we're gonna backtrack a little bit and do the living room. And I think I'm gonna keep the blue theme kind of going. I kind of like that idea of keeping it all bluish and light and tone and everything. I think I'll go with maybe just like this for the living room. Actually, this one looks a little less intense blue. It's a little bit of a softer pastel-y blue. And then I think somebody is living here, so maybe we'll give them some different furniture. We could give them this, but no. I think, actually, I feel like that makes sense. Maybe we'll do this one. You know what? I can see it. All right. Had a bit of a little break, had some hydration, ate lots of pizza. But one thing I would like to change now that I've come back is I need to flip this around. This just seems a little too cramped. And honestly, that feels so much better already. Like that just makes way more sense. It does mean people will be walking in front of a TV, but you know what? It's fine. Okay, moving back to this little, I was going to say office. It's not an office. It is a living room. I really want to use this little side table here. And I think I'm going to just, decorate like I would normally decorate. I don't know. This little lamp here. I've been really enjoying this lamp. Yeah, I just saw something on Twitter. Maybe it was Blue Sky. I can't remember which one, to be perfectly honest. But I saw a video of someone building a house in The Sims 1. And let me tell you, it's brought back the urges. I really need to play The Sims 1 again. I'm just, I think it's time once again to possibly play The Sims 1. I definitely would like to build something maybe for The Sims 1 on the channel. And I think that what I'll do is I'll build something, and then I actually started a second channel recently. I did used to have a couple second channels or whatever back in the day, but I deleted those a long time ago because I just didn't have any use for them, and there was not really any content on there that was, doing anything. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna say goodbye to this because it was just there. But I did create a new second channel, and if y'all want to go check it out, that'd be great. I have it linked. If not, yell at me in the comments because you know how I am. I forget things all the time. But it would be really cool to do some Let's Plays over there. I actually just called it Luca's Let's Plays. If you want to go check that out, that'd be great. But yeah, I thought we could just do some random gameplay over there. Nothing serious. It is just going to be kind of a place where I dump, just fun stuff. Probably going to be doing a lot of just like lightly edited things over there. Nothing too crazy. Like I don't want to spend all my time editing videos for that channel because, obviously it's just kind of like a side project. And I also recently got a job. I'm not started just yet, but I don't want to, spread myself too thin. So when I'm just like in the mood to build something, or not build something, but in the mood to just play The Sims and have like an actual Let's Play moment or something that isn't super serious, I'm going to do it over there instead, just because I have noticed that it doesn't exactly do well on this channel when I do upload gameplay, just because, it's not really the thing that is this channel. This channel is a building channel, and, that's kind of like what I want to keep it as. I think we'll put the chair like right there, maybe a little closer, maybe like right there. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe this. Oh no, I can't put it there either. Maybe right here. Sure. And then I'll put a lamp, another one of these lamps right over here. Cats and dogs is really serving today. Honestly, I mean, it always serves, at least for me. Okay. Not that one. That one's perfect. Then we'll just add a few decorative pieces to kind of finish out the living room here. But yeah, I feel like I could go over there on that channel and play some, I don't know, stuff like The Sims 1 if I'm just like itching to play, or, I've been thinking about getting a capture card recently and maybe even doing some Animal Crossing stuff. Nothing, of course, nothing serious. just a kind of casual, gameplay kind of experience. But yeah, do let me know if you are interested in that channel, and also if you, what you would want to see over there that, I wouldn't necessarily want to do here, just because of, the fact that it's just, I don't know. I feel like some YouTube creators in the Sims community, they can do stuff like that where they can do gameplay and building. But for me, I just don't think my channel is really in that kind of position yet. Ooh, I think something like this would be really cute here, but maybe like that one. Yeah, sure. And then we need some curtains over here. We're going to just use obviously the blinds. So, something like that. I feel like that looks really good. And then maybe something above here. I'm not really sure. Honestly, what if I put this above the TV and then above here we put a mirror? I don't know. Growing up, we had a big mirror in our living room and it really helps open up the space. Sure. We'll just put that one. And then I'm just going to put in the boob light right there in the middle. And yeah, that's a pretty simple little space. Pretty much done, but I do want to add like a couple other things. Like I do want to add another little, a little sconce there. We're going to move these over a little bit. There we go. I'm even using the same bookshelf over and over, but I just love it. And then I guess we can put a plant or something in the corner. Another one of these possibly. Maybe they just put those around because the owners maybe just really liked them or something. I don't know. Just another one of those paintings. Why not? That's cute. I like the living room. I'm trying to keep it pretty simple and minimally furnished. But yeah, we've got this front done. Now we just have this section of the house to do. The bathrooms are essentially going to be identical, so I'm just going to do them at the same time. Why not? One after the other. I'm just going to go with this toilet, I think, and then a sink, I think we'll just go with this one. These two kind of go together. And then I need a nice mirror. And then I guess I'll put another one of these like little towel things, maybe like I did in the other bedroom or the other bathroom. Yeah, just one of these. That's perfect. And then I guess, it would have to be for a child, these second bedrooms, or a teen, or maybe this house on this side can be for maybe like an older couple and then they have a teenager or something maybe. So they'll just have a shower for sure. And I think I'm just going to go with, I think I'm going to go with a slightly more expensive one. Actually, never mind. We're going to go with the cheap one. I don't know. I'm just not liking any of those colors. It doesn't look like it goes with this stuff. It feels very sterile and, white. Maybe this one? This one's a little bit better. Oh, and it has like a pink. Yeah, we got to do that. That's cute. And then we obviously need to go in with the rugs from the not the basement treasures, the bathroom clutter kit. Is that what it's called? Yeah. We'll just use these. Of course, so cute. And then obviously we need a door. I totally forgot a door. We need to place those. Those are going to be the ones from the high school years pack, of course. We'll go ahead and place that down for pretty much all of these. And then we need to just add in a few other little clutter items, like the toilet roll and stuff like that. And then let's see, a little hand towel. I think let's just do a nice like color like that. Maybe on this side actually. And then we need a towel rack too. That's obviously going to be realistic. We'll do the pink to match the pink towels up here. And I think that's really all I want to put in here. I'll go ahead and I will put in the light, and we also need to pick out a wallpaper for in here. We might honestly just use the same tile that we used upstairs. And then what I'm going to do, just to make my life easier, I'm just going to copy this over. See how easy? And then what I'll do is I'm going to probably just swap the toilet and the sink. Just for the sake of, the window being there and everything. Make sure they have the toilet roll still. And then the towel thing, I guess I'll hang like right here. I hope that they can access that still. And then we do need to pick out a little curtain for this room. I would probably just say this one again. This one's a good one for these windows actually. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, there's the bathrooms. Now we can do the hallways for sure. I don't know what kind of wallpaper I want for the hallways. Maybe we'll just go with, some simple, colors. Like this kind of goes with the yellowy color, and then we can just do like a light blue maybe. And then let's get rid of the lights and then use the proper the boob light. It's going to be a little bit different on each side, but I think what I'll do for these hallways is just keep them pretty minimally furnished. Put just like a runner in here somewhere. I know for one side, I want to use this one, like this like darkish color one, and just do it like that. And then for this side, I'll use that one that's kind of like a little lighter, more floral looking, like this one. And then I think there is like a light, like a blue swatch. I kind of like that actually. Yeah, that looks cute. And then we can just put like a bookshelf again in here or something like that. I don't want to use the same bookshelves, to be perfectly honest with you, but I also don't want to use expensive bookshelves either. So I think I might just put I don't know, I feel like this one would look kind of cute in here. Like, what are your thoughts? I kind of like it. We'll maybe do something different in there, and then maybe I guess we can just put like a little accent table, you know, just like one of those like little side tables, like one of these for example. I guess I can just go with white. Yeah, we'll just do white, just since I'm doing like white furniture for this house. And then maybe we can just put like, you know, a lamp, you know, a plant, you know, just things, you know. I could also definitely see one of those like little team like portraits, or better yet, I forget which pack it came with, but it's like a little picture of some like little kids, like little baby pictures. I cannot tell you for the life of me. Maybe it's the story. No, it's not a Storybook Nursery. It's this one. It is from the Storybook Nursery. I just looked right past it, but we'll put that in here as well. Just that one, or maybe the pink one. Ooh, that one looks a little bit better. And then do I want to put that in the center? I feel like the center would look nice. And then just like a little plant right here. Yeah, this one again looks cute. Just keep it pretty minimal. You know, I don't want to overdo it with the furnishing in these houses, because, you know, obviously it works better with the, you know, storyline, you know, that they're like pre-furnished or like, you know, low income based homes or something like that. But at the same time, I feel like keeping them minimally furnished means they're going to be easier to play in because of that reason. I don't really know what else to put in here. Maybe just like a painting on this wall. We'll just do this one. Why not? Sure. And then we will go ahead and also I will go ahead and put some sconces in here as well, just so that there is some extra light. And then what about this one? I mean, I feel like we could do something similar. Another accent table, of course. I think I'll go with this one. We'll keep it smaller. Maybe we'll give it a different color like that one. And then I'm actually gonna do the same thing again and use this little table lamp and then use the green swatch. There we go. Cute. And I don't think I really want anything like, I don't want to do the same thing that I did in there. I kind of like this little bunny rabbit. That's kind of cute actually. And then maybe we can put a clock. I feel like that would fit really well in here, just like this one. Yeah, that's a cute little setup. I think that's all I'm going to do for those two little rooms. And now we just have these 4 bedrooms here. We'll start with the smallest one. I think this small one, see who lives here. I think this is probably vacant for now. Maybe this has not really got anything in it yet. So maybe this is just going to be like generally furnished. Maybe we'll just do like one of these beds, because these look like very simple beds, because they're supposed to be like for, you know, college students. So they're supposed to look affordable. I mean, the pink is kind of cute, but I don't think it will fit with this style. I think I'll go with maybe the yellow, or maybe this dark blue. I feel like the yellow would look better. And then we'll just find a side table that matches. That's easier said than done, I feel like. Maybe this one. Yeah, we'll do that kind of setup there. And then, you know, just another cheap little dresser here. I'm just imagining these are like really cheap ones from like maybe like Walmart or like IKEA or even something like that. Actually, we'll put this like maybe here instead, so that there's some more room for like a toy box and stuff. I can imagine that the people that live in this house, or maybe that are going to live in this house, are maybe, you know, a younger family. They don't really have a lot and they're just needing somewhere to get started. I like the blue. That's cute. Like maybe they have a child and, you know, they found that they need a new place to live and they can't really afford. So they found this kind of low income housing here, something like that, you know, some kind of storyline. And then I think I'll use this rug here. This room is really small, so I don't really have a lot of room here. So we'll just keep it pretty simple. I think we need a blarfy. I feel like the blarfy would tie it up really, really nicely. And then I keep using this lamp. For some reason, it's really speaking to me today. It's just working with everything that I'm putting it like near, basically. Okay, and then for the curtains, we need curtains that would look good in here. Maybe just like these white ones. Sure. I don't know. I'll place them down and then we'll look at the colors. I mean, the yellow is fine. The blue is too dark. That's actually kind of pretty. You know what? I kind of like it. And then maybe we'll go with yellow for the walls. Not that yellow, but like a light yellow maybe. That's kind of cute, actually. I'm a big fan of that, actually. And then, you know, it's supposed to be like a set of furniture they got. So, and then I'll just put some, you know, kids paintings, I guess, in here. Or maybe just some posters or something. Maybe this one. And then they have, ooh, the the cat calendar. That's cute. So I'm thinking maybe just like that one. I don't know. We're not going to go overboard with the decorations and stuff. Oh my God, this little ladybug. That's cute. The blue one's kind of cute too. Oh, here's a backpack. Actually, we can do like a little blue backpack. Oh, and some ribbons. Maybe they won something recently. I don't know. Is there like a blue car or something? Ooh, there is. There we go. That's a cute little kid's room. I think that'll work pretty well. And we'll go ahead and move on to the parents' bedroom as well. Let's see, what kind of bed would work well with this place? I'm thinking of a bed that is like a cheap bed, something like this one, obviously. I mean, it's kind of a given. Maybe we'll do, I mean, I feel like this one is one I use all the time, but like it just, I don't know. It's the nicest bedding out of all of them, I think, or at least with this set. But I don't know, maybe not that bad. Maybe this one. I feel like that one's okay, but I'm thinking, ooh, this one's right. I don't know. Just going with a base game one just felt more correct. I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I feel like I'm just going to go with this one, actually, because it just makes the most sense because it looks a little dated. Yeah, that one's cute. I like it. I mean, obviously it's green and dark wood. You know, what is there not to like for me? And then I will go ahead and should I? Actually, I think I should. If I'm going to do a 4-poster bed, I'm going to do the one from Cats and Dogs so that it kind of matches. We'll do this green maybe, or do we want to do a different color? I think I'll do the green. I like the green. And then, you know what? We'll just keep the theme. This is a Cats and Dogs appreciation build, clearly. We'll do this color of wood here. It's a little different from the rest that I've used throughout the build, but you know, I like it. And then I'm just gonna, you know, use the same lamp, of course. Yeah, that's looking cute. And then they just need a, you know, dresser. Oh, that doesn't match. That's unfortunate. I guess we'll have to use something different. Like this one's kind of big. This one actually is a little bit smaller. Sure, something like that's fine. And then we just need another rug. Maybe this one. Maybe we'll just go with the brown rug, really simple. And then I do want to use another green in here. I mean, maybe like a little bit of a darker green. I kind of like that shade, actually. It's kind of nice. And then I'm going to use, wait, are we using, these are also from Cats and Dogs. Wow. I just have really been liking Cats and Dogs in this build. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is. It's a really good pack. I recommend it. And for the curtains, do I just go with white? No, but I don't want to go with a brown either. I feel like that doesn't look that good. So maybe I'll just keep it simple and just use the same shades that we were using, these blinds. I'll put in a little mirror in here. It's kind of a tight squeeze, not gonna lie. I don't know if they'll be able to use this, to be perfectly honest with you. And what should I do to remedy that? I mean, theoretically I could use this, but it's quite expensive. I don't know. I guess we'll just push it into the wall as much as we can without it clipping through and hope for the best. And then we just need to add, you know, some more decor. We'll just put like a painting in here. And then I think that's really it. I feel like I'm always questioning myself whether I should add more. And that's the problem. I get so excited and I want to move forward with the build. I should definitely put a mirror above the dresser for sure. And then we can put in a little TV. Maybe this one. Maybe just this little mirror. And then a little television, a little TV just right here. And then I think a clock, you know, just the usual bedroom stuff. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty simple and straightforward. And now we just have these two bedrooms in the other room. Since this is for a probably for a teen. I'm going to go with maybe a darker blue. And then we're going to kind of just go in with like a little bit of a sporty vibe, maybe. I think I will use this. Yeah, we'll use this one for sure. Actually, we'll use that swatch. I like that. And we'll give them a different bedside lamp for sure. We'll do that. And for the rest of the room, we just need a dresser. I think I'm going to use this one actually. And then I'll give them a desk as well. I think I'll just use this, base game one that's really cheap, and then just give them a cheap computer also. Yeah, something really, really simple. And I think what other kind of hobbies and skills should I give this sim? Maybe I'll just put in a bookshelf. We'll just do that. We'll give them this kind of expensive one, but it makes sense in here. Yeah, something pretty plain is all right for me. Ooh, this little lamp is kind of cute. Like this bluish one with the spacey theme on it. I guess I'll just put like a little stack of video games, put a little controller here, and I guess that one journal, this one right here, it's always so good for like putting on desks to make it look like they take notes or something. Maybe it's like homework or something. And then I'll give them some proper curtains this time. Yeah, we'll just do some black curtains maybe. We'll open one side up. We'll do that. Yeah, I like that. And then a couple posters, We'll do these void critters. That looks really cute, actually. I like all the blue. And then just a nice little rug, maybe another couple posters. I feel like that looks really cute. And just, I think one more little poster over here would be perfect. Maybe this one. It's just a Sims one. It's kind of cute. All right. And then one more room. I think I will use that one from the base game. This one, I feel like this one would fit really well in here since they're in kind of like a blue theme. This isn't really blue, but I haven't used it before. And you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. We'll just put in a couple little knot stands here. And I've used this lamp in like every single room, but like I can't help it. It just looks good in all these rooms. And then for a rug, I guess I'll just go with like a nice simple one. Like, ooh, this one I know has like a swatch. I'm pretty sure at least it does. It has a swatch that kind of will go with that color. Something like that weirdly works. I don't know why that really stood out to me. And then we just need another little kind of situation, another little dresser. Maybe I'll put one just like in the corner right here. Ooh, why is that kind of pretty? I don't know. Maybe this is a single mom. I feel like this could be a single mom's room. And then we'll place down another little, what do you call it? Another little mirror here. Maybe that one will do. Actually, I'm going to do this one. Just this really plain white one for sure. We'll do this one. Yeah. That's kind of cute. Actually, I kind of like the flowers. It's kind of nice. And then this could also be like an older sister raising their teen brother. Maybe. That's also a really fun story that I could see myself actually playing with. I feel like this just kind of fits the vibe. I don't know. The idea of this room is funny to me. But yeah, we'll just go with that. And then maybe some like purpley curtains would be kind of nice. I wonder if this comes in a color that would work. Not really. These are kind of pretty. These kind of work. It's like this dark purple right here kind of looks similar. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. We're going to go with a little bit of a kind of a purpley moment. Maybe not a purpley moment. This is more like I don't really know what color you would call this. But yeah, I kind of like that. And then we will put in, another little sconce above the door, and then the boob light. All right. Well, that's the interior done. That's pretty cool. Not super overdone, but that's what I like about it. And then I forgot to put some little citronella candles out here on the little picnic tables. But, I almost forgot. Oops. I almost forgot something. I was going to put a couple things out here on the front porch as well. I think I'm just going to put another one of these benches over here. Let's put it like right there. Does that look good? I'm not really a big fan of that, actually. I kind of want to use the one that came with cats and dogs. I know. Like, I really liked it. I thought it was a really cute one, and I can't seem to find it. I'm just going to have to filter. My brain can't process everything so quickly, so I have to filter a lot. It's not in the benches, it's in the love seat section. That's always honestly bothered me. But yeah, we'll just put a couple of those, or Or do we want to put this one or this one? I feel like that one blends in really well. And then, hey, why don't we put a couple of cushions on these as well? Maybe we'll like add a little sneak peek of what colors are inside. So we'll just do like a light blue on this side, and then this side can be a nice like sagey green. There we go. That's kind of cute. I like that. And we need to, oh my goodness, I almost forgot. I just keep remembering things. We can add some little like welcome mats. We'll do a blue one for that side and a green one for this side. Why not? All right. So we are finally finished with this build. I can definitely say that this is for sure an improvement. So I'll go ahead and give you a little overview of the floor plan, just if you want to recreate this yourself. Here is the upstairs, a nice little apartment. You know, it's a little 1-bedroom apartment, perfect for either 1 or 2 Sims. Simple and minimal and clean. And then this is the downstairs, meant more for like families or different kinds of Sims. I honestly really like both sides. They're very different styles, but they still feel like similarly balanced, you know? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this build today. If you want to see me do more of these transforming ugly EA homes, just let me know in the comments down below. What build do you want me to do next? This neighborhood has got my eye on it. Don't worry. All of these houses are getting transformed. I know the Pancake's house looks like it's already been done. It technically has. I did it a long time ago, but I think I'm going to redo it because it doesn't really fit the style that I like nowadays. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today's build. You can check this out on the gallery under the username luccaowens. That is LUCCAOWENS. And once again, if you want to use my creator code luccaowens at checkout whenever you're buying any packs for The Sims 4, just go ahead and just put that in there, and that helps support the channel directly. Y'all, I got little tongue twists there. You know, I'm just not going to worry about that. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Do let me know. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I'll speak to y'all next time. Bye, y'all.